I'm excited to be here. I want to make this interactive. My name is Andrew. I work at Galloy. Galloy is the company that built Bitcoin Beach Wallet, which is now named Blink. It's a custodial Lightning wallet built on an open source stack. And so this talk is get to know Blink. And what I wanted to do was provide a venue here for anybody who either is using it and maybe wants to learn things that they don't know yet about the wallet. Or maybe who isn't using it. So this is, I will be happy if I see you looking at your phones because I want you guys to like play around in this session. So like if you haven't received via an NFC, Bolt card or something like that, like let's do that. Let's kind of make this interactive. We only have like 25 minutes, so I'll kind of cruise through and we can stop, take questions live, so interrupt me. The video replay on this is going to be horrible, but we'll do it again on Zoom or something. So, and before getting into some of the features, so I will do kind of like a feature walkthrough, some of the things that are new, some of the things that, again, you may not know about. But before we do that, I wanted to give you a little bit of context because I imagine I know a lot of people here. Some of the people here probably know the wallet better than I do. But some of the questions that you get asked when you are talking about Bitcoin or someone asks you what wallet do you use is, why do you use that wallet? Or why the hell would you recommend a custodial wallet to somebody? That's not real Bitcoin. I strongly disagree. I think custodial wallets are one tool in a tool belt of solutions that we all have to introduce people to Bitcoin and get them along their Bitcoin journey. And Blink is often a good first tool that you're not going to cut yourself with too hard. So anyway, let's get going. I'm going to do a really brief history. I'll keep the upfront short so that we can, again, play along. And again, feel free to go to get.blink.sv and get the app downloading if you don't already have it, because I'd love for you guys to feel like you're familiar with this wallet when we leave this room today. So let's do it. First, this tweet, to me, is like Hal Finn's running Bitcoin for Bitcoin Beach. This is 2019. Mike Peterson posting on the Bitcoin Beach handle that the El Zante River cleanup crew got paid in Bitcoin and used it to buy pupusas. The Bitcoin Beach story is just an amazing one. I'm sure everybody knows Bitcoin Beach. Many of us have probably been there. But like digging into the history of starting with like on-chain Bitcoin to try and build a circular economy and the journey that they had. And I bring it up here because it's very relevant to what Blink is today, is the context of where it came from. Because Blink was born in El Zante, and this is the first video that I know of Blink in use. This is Miles Suter of Cash App, and so he visited in 2020, and he's buying barbecue shrimp with the alpha version of Bitcoin Beach Wallet. And the reason why I say like Blink is tied to the history sort of Bitcoin Beach is Bitcoin Beach Wallet was designed for a certain context, which was bottom-up adoption, lightning first, like exposing people to Bitcoin in a lightning first way, and for circular economy building. So like building tools that make it easy to accept Bitcoin, not necessarily just to use Bitcoin, as sort of where you start from like a store of value and then say like, wow, like we needed like faster payments than 10-minute block size, so we're going to go from that. This is really like somebody who might not have ever experienced digital payments in their life and now is like getting digital payments unlocked. So that was a little bit of the context. I just mentioned these, I think. There is so when I joined Galloy some years ago, I listened to every single pod that was Mike Peterson, Jorge Chimbara, Nicolas Berthet, the founder of Galloy, and I kind of studied Bitcoin Beach and wrote this article, which is like a 5,000-word like beast, and it's still online. It's translated in like 11 languages at this point because it talks about the story of Bitcoin Beach, and it also talks about the story of building a wallet built in a context for circular economy building. So check that out. It's on galloy.io. You can search Bitcoin banking for communities to find that. The other thing is like, again, the context of Blink is building in a community where people aren't using digital payments. We are trying to get people to spend sats and merchants to receive them. Oftentimes older phones and shitty internet connection. So I think like that's different again than like a lot of like maybe Lightning devs who and you know Mike would make this pretty clear to say like, hey, if you're sitting in Philadelphia with like you know this wicked Wi-Fi, you're not going to just you're not going to realize like what a wallet is operating like. And so Nicholas traveled to Bitcoin Beach to build the Bitcoin Beach wallet. What are we focused on now? We rebranded from Bitcoin Beach Wallet to Blink. As a strategy last year after adopting Bitcoin. If anybody saw Nicholas's talk or announcement this morning about the API, like the enterprise level adoption that the Galloy stack is built for is not here yet. And so we're like, well, what is here? There's a lot of demand for building circular economies. There's a lot of demand for circularity and Lightning. And so we spent the last year improving Blink, adding a bunch of languages. I think we're like 23 languages and like 60 display currencies. And so this is kind of where we are, and this is where Blink kind of enters the equation, which is, you know, the everyday Bitcoin wallet. And you know, when we say everyday, this is kind of some of the things that we think about. This is kind of an outdated graphic from like it was internal and an internal discussion, but like there's a few things that like. You know, the word every day is something that you just reach for. It's like your trusty, like, you know, hammer or whatever. So in the context where we're thinking about it, it's accessible, reliable, and powerful. And so, like, accessible means, like, it's built for an old phone. Like, it's not like, you know, the pixels aren't going to break on you if you have, you know, a phone that might be 6 or 7 years old or even further than that. As I mentioned a couple of these things, extremely low fees is something we probably don't talk about enough. As a marketing guy, that's on me. But you may realize, like, if you know, we can get into stable sats here. Like, you have the ability to go from a Bitcoin denominated account to a USD denominated account for 0 fee and a 0.2% spread, to be able to, like, you know, hold your money stable in your wallet. So that is important because we're trying to incentivize adoption and use. Stable sats we can get into. There is an education section I'll talk about in a minute. The other thing is reliability. So everybody's here, and this is one of the reasons why I want you to have Blink. I also want you to have Zeus and Phoenix and Breeze. Like, I want you to have all of the tools. So for people that are traveling from elsewhere, like, go to El Zante and go to Berlin and walk around San Salvador and use different wallets and like feel the experience. And like, it's no secret that like self-custodial Lightning is difficult to use and it's continually getting better. But like, if you don't open your Breeze wallet for like 3 days and you open it, it's like, wait, I'm going to synchronize. And if you're on a slow network, it's like, could take minutes. And so like, again, they're all tools. Like, Breeze is amazing. I love what they're doing. And it has very like important context. Blink does as well. And so like, when we talk about reliability, it's like, we're trying to build an app that is 99.99% uptime in terms of availability, and then payment success is incredibly high. So there's like, you're not thinking about Lightning channels. Like, if you introduce a pupuzzeria to Bitcoin, you're not going to be like, well, let me talk to you about Lightning channels and why I'm going to charge you money to like be able to receive payments, right? It's also open source. We believe strongly the entire Galloy stack is open source, and you've seen like Bitcoin Jungle fork it. And actually a couple other products that are coming out that are built on the stack. Look at the apps you use and prioritize open source, because there's VC money in America. There's not VC money in Africa to the same degree at all. And if we're trying to build like a financial revolution, like, we need to build things that we also make accessible to others, because if you're building an exchange, a ledger in the United States, like, why not make some of that software useful to somebody in another country that has 1 dev instead of 8 devs or something like this? And like, again, we're trying to build against fiat. We're not like, you know, let's not compete on code. Let's compete on like against fiat. And then powerful. So we do try to be a wallet that like the heart, and we are, and I see it like on an almost daily basis, like Bitcoin, toxic Bitcoin maxis being like, yep, using Blink. That's like my like pocket cash, right? And we want to be that way. Like, we want to have and earn the respect via open source, via NFC, pay code, and the tools and the sort of the spec that we integrate, so that like, if you're somebody who's running your own node, you can still have $50, $200, whatever, for like you're traveling to El Salvador, because you're like, and I think like a lot of people have learned this, is like having a custodial wallet at hand is pretty helpful. Yeah, so what does that mean? It's the best first Bitcoin wallet. There's one problem I think we're trying to solve. I'd love feedback on it. Again, we're really interested in hearing feedback from people as you use the wallet. But people say like stable sats. There's a certain portion of the world who's like, I think, groks and grabs stable sats very quickly. Essentially, it's a stable coin. It's not actually a stable coin, but it's stable coin like. So it allows you to hold dollars in your Blink account that protect you from volatility. However, if you're introducing somebody to Bitcoin and you're like, wait, now I have dollars, but they're not really dollars, and now it's not a stable coin, like, it's mental load that is kind of unnecessary. So we may actually create like would you like to turn on this feature to allow you, right? And like actually make that a secondary thing. That's an aside. But anyways, it's the best first. It simply works. And it is designed to enable things like merchant adoption and circular economy building. Because I don't know if anybody was in, like, for instance, the Zeus, like Evan Kaludis had a great, Zeus is an amazing wallet, like making amazing progress. But like even still, a Lightning address that you've got to like check in to receive the funds, and like, you know, needing to be online and things like that can be difficult. So 145. I'm going to show of hands. Who has the Blink wallet? Well, first of all, hands down. Who is from the US with a US phone number? Oh, I'm sorry. But remember what I said, it's open source. So like tweet at your nearest like Hong Kong. Oh yeah, you don't work for some, you do or don't work for some company. Tweet at your favorite like United States company and say fork the Blink wallet. It's open source and launch it. So Blink is not available in the US. Sorry about that, but the money transmitter license and regulation is just is a high hurdle, and it's not, and we're focused on. It's just not where we're focused. We're focused on that Bitcoin circular economy map where people are bringing people into Lightning that way. So who does have the Blink wallet installed? All right, I want you to tap on people in the wallet, and then tap on circles or view my circles, and then I want you to stand up if you have more than 0 in your circle. Yeah, we got to do some work here. It's after lunch. Like, we're not going to fall asleep. All right, there's a handful of people. All right, I've got a T-shirt. No. Stay up. Sit down if you have less than 5 people. Okay, we've lost some. Sit down if you have less than 10 people in your inner circle. 20? 30? What? How many people do you have in your circle? What's that? 40? You just got yourself a T-shirt, sir. Circles is a feature that allows you to track sort of your own progress in orange pilling people. So I want to take a little commercial break there. I believe we have about 13 minutes. And so I'm going to do some rapid fire through features. So bear with me, and then I want to open up for questions. So again, I'm kind of like jamming information at you guys, but that's kind of what we're going to do. So here's the home screen in Blink. I want to mention a couple things. I want you guys to feel comfortable and proficient with the wallet. So there's this fun little convert button here. And if you are a Apple user, you don't have it. So Apple went on a rampage this summer and kicked people out of the App Store for almost no reason at all. It happened to like many apps in the Bitcoin space, Damus and beyond. Well, the solution for us to unstuck that situation was to remove the convert button. So that's what you see there. Now convert. So if you are on Android, you can send money between your Bitcoin and your StableSats accounts. So it says, would you like to send $1 over to your StableSats account? When you do that, that $1 will stay $1 regardless if its number goes up or number goes down. So it can make you really happy, it can make you really sad. It's different, right? If you have fiat-denominated expenses due on Friday, it's nice to have those fiat-denominated expenses in stable sats, because then you can sleep at night knowing that you're not going to wake up not being able to pay for that bill. So that's what stable sats is. The QR code to scan is actually to send or receive. And so this is a feature that, I don't know, maybe some of you guys don't know about, but like there's LNURL withdraw. Actually, I think everybody got gifted a Azteco voucher in the Adopting Bitcoin bag. And so if you have your bag and you have that thing that says Azteco, take it out, scan it. You can actually scan it with Blink, and you can withdraw funds from that. So that's what LNURL withdraw is. It's enabled in Blink. There's also this fun button up there that's the Bitcoin price, and we made an announcement this morning that today in El Salvador you can buy and sell Bitcoin from within Blink. The buy and sell feature is currently tucked behind that price. It's kind of in a beta rollout. So if you tap price, you will start to see a buy and sell button there. If you're outside of El Salvador and you want the buy and sell feature, and outside of the US, I guess, you can select your country and tweet at us. There's like an auto-populated tweet like, hey, bring buy and sell to my country. Like, we want to be rolling it out further. So we're working with some companies for like on-ramp and off-ramp in various parts. So pretty excited about that. I mentioned Blink Circles. This is sort of your, we updated this old tab that was contacts. All it was a list of people you transacted with, and now it's called people, which like really satisfies me. I don't know, we have this like little icon of the hug. But you have, there's my circles, 57, so Gerardo's gonna pass me soon, I guarantee it. You have frequent contacts here. You can tap send to yourself to convert money between Bitcoin and stable sats. It's still possible. So just enter your own username or tap your username there. We also added an invite a friend. If you tap this, it pops open a QR code. So if you're like on the street, you're like, oh, try Blink, or you're in a taxi, like tap people and invite a friend, and it'll just pop up a QR code they can scan to get the wallet instantly. So that's like a small feature that we added recently. We're not like making a big deal about it, but just we're trying to like lower the barrier of getting people into Blink.
So how do you add to your circle?
Good question. How do you add to your circle? It's in here somewhere, so I'll touch on it when we get there. There's a map. I'm not going to cover too long on here. I think you guys understand the concept. BTC map is great too. We have one embedded here. There's a lot of merchants on it. You can also pay them from the map. So I think that it was like Charlie maybe said like he likes that, or maybe it's the contacts. But here's how you can get on the map. So if you're like if you're onboarding your barber or something, you can actually get them on the map. It's like, hey, where are they located? What's their username? And what's the business name? Because it's not always the same as a user. Earn sats for learning. So we just added another feature you may not know about. There was 4 chapters, which was like Bitcoin 101. Again, we want to be the best first Bitcoin wallet so that you can get out of cab feeling good about like recommending a Bitcoin-only open source wallet that teaches you about money and Bitcoin. And so we wrote 20 chapters a while ago, and we just didn't have bandwidth to get it in the wallet. Lee Salmonen was on a podcast, and he's like, oh, I wish we could add to the education section. It's so cool. Little did he know we had already written 20 chapters worth of content for that. And so we sent him a link, and within a week, it was uploaded into GitHub and by way of a PR, and now it's in the Blink wallet right now, so you can download it. If you've already taken the old quiz, you can get in there and take it again. So open source for the win. We also have Dredd over here who's working on another wallet on the Galloy stack. So yeah, it's really exciting to see and to work together on this stuff. This is important. It's new. I've been talking about this with a lot of people actually. Like Lightning is like, I mean, and interoperability is difficult. And you may know this, like, you know, Strike may not pay to this spec or that spec, Lightning address versus. So I wanted to get at least the people in this room familiar with Lightning invoice versus paycode. Because we added paycode in here, and we're actually, and Roman will be happy when we finally do this, but we're going to add some like in-app like messaging when new features come in to be like, hi, you now have a pay code. Like, here's what it is, because like we don't have that functionality today to like do a nice messaging during the sort of upgrades. We just like toss the word pay code in there, and now users are like, what the fuck is a pay code? And so I just wanted to cover it quickly. A Lightning invoice is going to expire, and it can only be paid once. So if you orange pill or red pill, or I forget what it was, transition them from red to orange, your friend, and you want to share, like you want to celebrate on Twitter like we do, like, hey, this waitress, I got her on Bitcoin. Don't take a picture of a Lightning invoice and share it to Twitter, because that person will get one payment of 21 sats, and then that'll be it, right? Instead, use Paycode, because Paycode uses part of the spec called LNURL. So it's short for LNURL Pay QR code. So it's nice and short terminology. No expiration. It's static. It's printable. And it's shareable. You can post it on your Twitter bio. You can post it on Twitter. You can print it out. Check out Berlin. They have done like these beautiful custom pay codes for their merchants. And Bitcoin Beach pioneered this in the early days. It was before LNURL. I think it was using something else, like just username scan, open the app and pay to username. But if you're not connected to the internet, you have a hard time, or rather, if you have what Mike always used to say, like dirty hands, because you're making food, you don't want to have to wash your hands to receive, create a Lightning invoice. Paycode is great, okay? So it's like a nice merchant. It's a nice thing for merchants, as well as for online sharing. 154. LNURL withdraw. I mentioned it. I don't know, like we don't talk about it that much, but if you did get a Azteco voucher here, so use Blink to pull those sats down. Converting stable sats, I already mentioned this. I won't spend time. It's Android only, the convert button, but you can. There are ways, dude, as Walter Sobchak would say in The Big Lebowski. As of like yesterday, we're NFC enabled, not just in beta. We had it in the settings for like a while as a beta. But if you create a Lightning invoice, you'll see this sideways Wi-Fi symbol, which we're actually fixing. It's like somebody grabbed the wrong icon, I think. But you can tap that and scan a Bolt card or a Bolt ring. And again, this is in the receive flow. So it's like now we have the right flow now, which is you set an amount, then you tap NFC and you tap your card. So we're happy to have this. Where's James? He's not here. He jacked me up. He's like, hey man, we're gonna have to be using Wallet of Satoshi if you guys don't do NFC soon. I was like, all right, man, let's go. We only have a couple minutes left, so buy and sell is here. Go to fiat.blink.sv. You can go on the computer as well, but it's in the price screen. Cash register is for if you have an employee or you have your barber has other people or employees, you give them a link to your cash register. So it's pay.blink.sv/username. And they can actually pin that to their home screen, and now they can receive money on your behalf. So again, like I talked about, like designing for merchant problems, which is like, I think you've said it. When the owner's not here, Bitcoin doesn't work, right? This is I think a common line. Well, the cash register, if you say, oh, don't worry about it, and like the guys at Rotan in Amity Age are using this heavily. So like they set up a bar, and like all the bartenders and everything, they have this on their phone, and everybody can accept Bitcoin to the one account, and they can't send out of that account. Blink circles. Here's how you add somebody to your circles. If you are the first person who sends sats to somebody on Blink, like Blink to Blink, so I'm going to onboard you, send you 1 Satoshi, your inner circle is going to grow by 1. And so it tracks how many, so we consider you haven't onboarded somebody until they've received their first sats from you, right? Like your job's not done. You've got to show them the magic of Lightning. So if you send somebody some sats, then your inner circle grows by 1. Your outer, this is real. This is Salim, who works on Blink and since the early days. But your outer circle represents, if I orange pill or I welcome Rudy by sending him a sat, his first sat on Blink, and he goes and welcomes 10 people, my outer circle is now 10. And so there's nothing better than waking up in the morning and it's like, your outer circle grew. And you're just like, the work that I've done is like paying off down the line. It's actually like really satisfying. And we do challenges. So we this month, every person you add to your inner circle, you get 2,100 sats. We're not trying to like bribe people. Like we're just trying to make it fun and kind of incentivize us to do what we're already doing. one thing I want to tell you is email address. Add your email address. You can increase security. You can get your phone number off there so you protect yourself from being SIM swapped. So we're continuing to add like security features. Like, SIM swapping is just a problem, and one way to do it is to add your email address for authentication. If you're like Roman and you probably get Circles notifications every like 50 a day because of he's been around since the early days. You can turn those off if you want. I don't think I'll ever do it, but you can. We have a bunch of physical material, and you can modify it, print it, adapt it, whatever. It's at blink.sv/en/brand. You can join the beta, so if you want to get features early and break stuff and tell us about it, and kind of we'd love to have you. It's at blink.sv/beta. So I've spent all the time trying to rifle through that whole thing. So thank you guys for being patient and kind of sitting with me. Any quick questions before I pass the mic? Sure.
The States, do you recommend UK?
I have no opinion or answer on that one way or the other. We restrict U.S. phone numbers and stuff from creating accounts. So we try to not have U.S. customers. That's all I can say. Sure. With Chivo?
Yeah, it's like, most outdoors are on Chivo. It's pretty easy to send from, but like the Chivo looks like I can't do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we're friendly. We have channels, and we know some of the people that are working on there, but we don't have like any a proper integration or like any plans to like work directly with them. Dread?
Can you talk to me about transaction limits and how to raise them?
Yes. All right, this will be the last one because I need to pass the mic, but transaction limits. So actually, this is one thing I think is on the next screen, or I forgot to get to. No, it's not. We actually added trial accounts recently. So trial accounts is a uber low limit. So right now you need a phone number, right? So that's what you need to create an account, and you have a $2,000 daily limit, transaction limit, with just your phone number. We actually added a trial account, which is nothing. You just open it and receive. It's like 21-second onboarding. You just tap, receive, bam, you're done. But it's like super low limits. It's like $50 a day or something. You can find this in the settings, what the transaction limits are. And then you can KYC if you want to increase limits to like $50,000 a day. So if you are a business, you're trying to use this wallet for your purposes, you can do that. That's an option as well. I think that the buy and sell feature will require that as well, but you're typically sending to and fro a bank account, and so I don't think it's like that much. Did you say Blink hardware wallet? Well, so I'm going to shut my computer. I'm going to close this down. I'm going to say we've done some really cool designs and discussions with like Seed Signer. Arvin is here, and he's doing actually an API demo in a little bit. He wrote a cool piece on Bolt Fun about like how do we get to self-custodial custodians. And so we're thinking a lot about this, and I'll kind of end on this note, which is Blink is a custodial wallet. We believe that custodial wallets should educate and move people towards self-custody for when they have funds that they should secure that are considered savings. And so we're thinking and working, and how do we get toward that, where there's a vault or there's like a Seed Signer or some other hardware integration. And then on the other side, you have self-custody wallets that are pushing and challenging. So we're trying to collectively fill the gap between the two, and I think it's really exciting to be like working on this because we're providing more options for people. So I've got stickers and swag and stuff. I'll be in the hall. Come talk to me, but I want to get out of the room. So thank you guys.